Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis, a breaking news reporter here at Forbes. Joining me once again is Senior Director of Emerson College Polling, Matt Taglia. Matt, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Brittany.
You have some polling fresh from Nevada, and I haven't talked about Nevada since 2024. It was one of those critical battleground states that ultimately went to Donald Trump. So I'm curious how things stand exactly a year later. So I want to start off with the governor's race. You're saying that it's a dead heat. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, so obviously we've got a ways to go until the governor's race, but as things stand right now, it is a dead heat, as you said, perfectly tied between Joe Lombardo and Aaron Ford, 41% to 41%, with a pretty sizable 18% undecided. Again, we're a year away from the actual general election, so I'd expect to have that high undecided number, especially in a state like Nevada where the population changes very quickly. Over the course of a few years, a lot of people move in and a lot of people move out. So this is sort of a moving dartboard, sort of, so to speak. I think things will change really significantly over the course of the next year. But a lot of that is going to be led by the president and what transpires over the course of the next year in government, in Congress, et cetera.
And that's a really interesting point about the state's population. But when you're looking at who's exactly moving in right now, who's moving out, does it look like more Republicans are moving in? Does it look like Democrats are moving out? Talk to us about the demos here when you break it down.
Yeah, and it's hard to say just off of this poll who's moving in, who's moving out. But what we do see is that Lombardo has lost a bit of ground since November of last year. So when we last tested his approval, he was at 41% approved, 25% disapproved, and then 34% who were neutral had no opinion. Now, when we look at that number, it is again almost perfectly tied. We see he's at 34% approved, 36% disapproved, and then a further 30% who are neutral. So that's a pretty big decline. And then when we look at those gubernatorial numbers at the top of the ballot, when we test him versus Ford, we see that he is leading among independents by about 8 points, but 40% of those voters are undecided. He's also winning Ford, on the other hand, is winning Hispanics right now by 16 points. It's a pretty sizable margin. And those are some of those folks who likely shifted since the 2024 election. So I don't know that we're necessarily seeing that evidence of folks who are new to the state versus folks who have been there. But I think we are seeing some shifts in those demographics, in those numbers. Whether that holds, though, I don't know. We've got a full year to go, and those shifts, things could change very quickly.